Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am creating a Happy Mail card. I don't do this often and I should do it more, but today I made some Happy Mail. This card is quite simple, but I'm creating my own background. Or my own pattern paper in this case is a better choice of words. But first I am coloring in my images. These are from all the clouds from Fawn. And I must admit, I first thought that I didn't need this stamp set. Really. I don't know how I could think that, but it was the case. And then, yeah, I don't know where it happened, but I got a bit addicted to rainbows. I truly think they are such a joy to see. It makes me smile when I see rainbows. So when I see these rainbows, I'm saying a lot of rainbows in one sentence or sentences next to each other, but I always think about Happy Meal. So I think in my upcoming Happy Meal cards there will be a lot of rainbows, I guess. So while I was testing out some colors late at night when watching TV, I discovered this combination of Copics to create my rainbow, and it's giving me some sort of a pastel-y, rainbowy look, and I truly adore it. So probably there will be some more rainbow cards with these color combinations. Really simple, only two Copics per color. So yeah, and that was already the coloring of this video, sort of. You will see later on what I mean with that. But I'm taking the matching dies, die cutting all of them, and then I took this long font cardstock, Apricot, or is it Apricot? Apricot. There are so many ways that I could think of pronouncing it, and I don't know what the right way is. I'm thinking British and American pronunciation is different in this case, so sorry if I pronounce it incorrect. I'm just doing this on the go, trying to keep it real and not rehearsed. Maybe you already figured that one out, but yeah, I wanted to do some tone on tone on this amazing color of cardstock, but I don't have any color the same as this cardstock. I'm just avoiding the word now. So I just took my Versamark clear embossing ink, and with this ink you can truly create some sort of a tone on tone effect. So I'm doing that, and I'm just repeating this rainbow all over this panel. As you saw maybe in the beginning, I am going to use the large cross-stitched rectangle stackables, and this panel is slightly larger because if I would have die cut this rectangle stackables already, then there is that cross-stitched detail, and it's quite difficult to get a good impression of your stamp over the stitching. So if you first start out with a larger panel and then you do afterwards the die cutting, then you can be sure that your stamping worked out. You see? So I'm just doing it, differentiating the different positions of the rainbow until this whole panel is covered. So now that the stamping is done, I really wanted to spice up these backgrounds without taking away from the simplicity. So I took my Copic marker that looked a bit like this colored cardstock, and I just ink blended a bit of shadow on the bottom of each rainbow. And I just did the same for everything. I'm just feathering in that color with my Copic marker, not doing anything more than that. So now that I'm done with my Copic marker, I can figure out what I like the most and then die cut my rectangle out of this panel. And then to finish off this pattern paper that I created, I took my wing of Stella and I just added glitter on top of each rainbow, just going over it, and then this pattern paper is ready and I can just assemble everything for this card, except of course I still need to create my sentiments. So here I'm just showing you the amazing glitter on top of every rainbow, and now I'm going to assemble these little elements already before continuing with the sentiments. So I'm just adding the clouds, and then the sun will get a smiley face first, and then I will also add it just behind the rainbow. Then for the sentiment, I took my new stamp set Tons of Type from the stamp market, and there are some amazing messages that all fit this sort of card that I wanted to create, but I decided to take the Hello Friend, and I'm going to heat emboss it onto some black licorice cardstock from Fawn using the Ranger Embossing Powder White Ultra Fine Detail. I'm using this embossing powder because the script of the stamp market in this case is quite thin, so I don't want any thick embossing powders on top of it. I really want to keep the script as thin as possible. And after getting rid of the excess embossing powder, I am heat setting this sentiment. With my sentiment melted, I am taking the sentiment strips from Sweet Feline from my elephant, and I'm just placing it around my sentiment. I am gluing it down, or I'm adhering it with some purple tape, and then I can run it through my die cutting machine. Because I want my two edges to be the same, I am going to die cut this once more, so I'm aligning it again. And I'm making sure this time that it cannot shift, so I really add a lot of purple tape to make sure that it is inside of my die, and I will only die cut it like at the edge, and then you have a perfect sentiment. So with all these pieces ready, it's just a matter of adhering. So for my sentiment, I'm using these strips from Diaries, and my images I am adhering with some thin foam squares so that I have different dimensions. And as soon as it is adhered, I can add this panel on top of my card base using some permanent print adhesive roller, and then this card is finished. I also made another card exactly the same but another sentiment, which I will also show at the end of this video in the pictures. But yeah, that's it. So I created my own pattern paper using these adorable rainbows and just adding some glitter, and that's it. So it's really simple, but I think it's just really cute. And this is Happy Mail that is already sent out, so I'm hoping that it's arriving soon, and then I can post this video. So if you see it, my recipient got it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you like the design, and that you will be back next time. Bye!